Welcome to Accounting High.
Shout out to our listeners. But these are probably the same people that are watching your videos or that are on Twitter and that see your Twitter. So it's all just an extension of that whole, that this whole metaverse that we're in, the accounting metaverse or the accounting multiverse.
We gotta coin that. Like,
Accounting High is a school or a watering hole in the accounting metaverse.
Yes,
and
we
so
need a
is your
better
YouTube
name
channel.
for that, though. The
So
accounting
is-
metaverse. What can we name it?
Then it's the accounting multiverse. In this accounting multiverse, you can learn from your peers. You can go. It's kind of like going to a conference. And in this case, you go to this podcast or this YouTube channel to learn how to use Airtable or whatever other stuff that Staats is doing this week, right? Everybody's got their places that they can go to learn different things, whatever suits your fancy that day. If you want to see Logan's numbers, go to his YouTube channel. But that's practical for somebody that's working at, let's say, a larger firm.
Grow, 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 grow marketing. It's Thursday. We gon' advertise and chat on Thursday. At Accounting High and Branding Talk is Thursday. And we gon' help you social post so you're in first place. It's time for social studies, accounting content hub, LinkedIn marketing or X. So come join our social club. Is it Twitter? Is it X? Shit, now I can't keep up. So comment, follow, love. If you into social studies, it's time for social studies, accounting content hub, LinkedIn marketing or X. So come join our social club. Is it Twitter? Is it X? Shit, now I can't keep up. So comment, follow, love. If you into social studies. Welcome back, Accounting High. Now it's time for social studies. We'll teach you new creative ways to market old product. Move beyond basics with Graf and Staats. Some studs you love. Position like Laura Lynn and you learn it's not all luck. Oh wait, now it all changed. SEO down, IG up. ICX, Meta, TikTok, hey LinkedIn, Roman V up. If you watch how they post, you'll see it's all authentic and genuine. Grow a following and don't get held back by perfection. Be intentional online, create content. Now that's hot. Strategy is key with social media and pods. Start slow, pick up platform, stick to it and go post. Make a plan to engage with client watering holes. Create a focus brand, be a lead online. It's a digital world with the best ROI. Now create your own ideal client persona. Let's go. Keyword Accounting High and get ready to blow. It's time for social studies, accounting content hub, LinkedIn marketing or X. So come join our social club. Is it Twitter? Is it X? Shit, now I can't keep up. So comment, follow, love. If you into social studies, it's time for social studies, accounting content hub, LinkedIn marketing or X. So come join our social club. Is it Twitter? Is it X? Shit, now I can't keep up. So comment, follow, love. If you into social studies. Follow this show, stay in the know. Thought lead online through networking. Like, share, repost, subscribe, YouTube, comment, engage, create, find your way.
Introducing the star of our show.
Scott Scarano and a very special guest, Logan Graf.
We're gonna have a problem here.
How's it going, Noble?
What's up, Scott?
Going good.
From Sons to Accounting High.
To high school, yeah. We're the sons are graduating middle school. We're going to high school. It's also that double entendre of high.
You're high. Yeah, I was going there first.
I'm not high right now.
Okay.
Actually, I've been. I think the last time we met, I said I was trying to smoke less, but be more intentional with it. That whole 420 time frame is ideal. I don't know who came up with it or whose idea it was to not smoke until 420, but you can live a pretty productive life
Up
and
until
get high up until 420. Yeah. After 420, all bets are off.
That's when main productivity drops either way,
Isn't it?
In the afternoon, it's just might as well not even do anything, just quit.
Well, I don't know. I'll be honest. When I used to spend a lot of time at the office and work, it's almost like I would get my second wind around that time, and I would just plow through the night sometimes, like doing tax returns or just trying to keep up with work, because that's when all the meetings stopped. Most meetings would end around that time, and then that was time that all the work had to get done. Oof. I was a hustler. Man, it was. I remember those days, the early days when it was just, basically where you're at now, right? Start with the basics, right?
Mm-hmm.
Are you the son of a CPA?
I'm not. I'm the son of college-less parents, so they were definitely not CPAs.
All right. So what made you decide to get your master's in accounting? Like, why did you do this of all things?
Just started in high school,
Ooh.
and yeah, I had a teacher that really believed in me. I don't know. She she kind of raised me up, and I was in her accounting class, and didn't choose me, but it's like, hey, you're decent at accounting. Do you want to join the accounting team? high school accounting team. She nominated me for like teen of the year. And so who knows if I was really supposed to be an accountant, but when someone like puts a lot of encouragement in you, like I think that's what a big reason why I chose accounting is because I had a great teacher that believed in me in accounting. And I loved how the balance sheet. This is gonna get super nerdy and
No, get as nerdy
oh my
as
gosh.
you can. As nerdy as you can. That's what this is all about.
I loved how the balance sheet like tied out, and the income statement would flow to the balance sheet, and it was like a nice puzzle. You could always solve it. No matter what you were given, you could solve the puzzle.
There's always a right answer, and there's always
a
things
right
that
answer.
have to fit.
Yeah, from an
It's not
accounting perspective.
ambiguous. Yeah, there's no like, well, it could be this or it could be that. But we can get into the tax stuff. Tax could get ambiguous sometimes too. So you on the accounting team at Accounting High. You basically started Accounting High. You're the OG of Accounting High.
Drive on Saturday morning to some school or whatever and take an accounting test. Sounds awesome, right?
Well, to a degree, there's a lot of it's competitive in a way. Did you play sports too?
Yeah.
Yeah. So, this was a competitive sport, I guess. I mean, if you're competing, you can do, physical sports, you can do mental sports. You had the, people who had the decathlons, or what are they called? Like debate teams and stuff. This was your accounting team. Early days, when you see that you have promise in something, I mean, most kids want to be an actor when you grow up. You want to be a policeman, you want to be a fireman, things like that. Nobody ever really says they want to be an accountant. I did when I was younger, but that was because my grandfather had a CPA firm, and I looked up to him. So it was like, and my dad was a CPA. Blake Oliver gives the example of some teacher thought he showed promise in the cello, and that's what he ended up doing to a large degree. You actually did something where you could make money. You chose a profession that could be profitable for you, right?
It's turning out to be
So where
far.
did you go to school? Where'd you grow up?
I grew up in Austin, Texas, and then I went to school at Texas Tech because they had a good business school, the Rawls College of Business. The best accounting firm owners are the ones that didn't take the traditional accounting route, college accounting route. I have the theory that accountants make horrible business owners because we're not business savvy, and we're normally introverted and don't value ourselves very well, and so we price horribly and don't know how to say no. And
Well, let's get into
other
that,
things.
Yeah, let's get into that because you're someone that I would have pegged you to be an introvert, yet you're out there. You're all over Twitter. You got a pretty large following on Twitter, and now you have your YouTube channel. I just rewatched your video, so I've already seen it twice. The one that's
Which
got
one?
about 2,500 views.
Oh, it's got 2,500.
Your numbers. I don't think it was like 2,400,
About?
something like that. About there.
That's
Yeah, it's getting
awesome.
there. It is awesome. It's so cool. So, and you're fully transparent on everything. My initial comment was on the introvertedness. So, would you consider yourself an introvert?
Definitely. Yeah. My online persona is an extension of myself, but it's more of like a extreme version of myself. So like a caricature. So
Sure.
if I were to be my normal self online, I don't think anyone would care. I would just be like everyone else. But I think a reason why I have a decent Twitter following is because I am kind of extreme in some ways, like very opinionated and outspoken, which I can be in real life. But, my energy is completely drained if I'm around people all day. And I'll need to like hide and be alone from everyone if I'm around people all day. But I don't know, something about the internet. I love to post crazy things on the internet, and I don't do it for the reaction. I do it because it's something I believe in. But
if you get a reaction, it's a bonus.
Yeah. People listen too when it's a little more extreme.
So when you go against the grain and you're different, so do you kind of lean in if you think something that's like most people would say, you probably shouldn't post that? Is that when you think I definitely got to post that? Like if it's something that's against the grain almost?
I will be, I'm not afraid if you haven't. So you saw that video. I'm not afraid of posting my numbers.
The dancing video?
Oh my gosh, the dance. Is it the blinding lights one?
Blinding lights.
Yeah. It's straight from TikTok. Yeah.
Straight from TikTok. I was going to ask like where the idea came from, and
most of those are like TikTok inspired. Yeah. Especially that dance. It's just like, I got to do something and get a reaction from people and entertain. Well, because I love making people laugh. And so
that's interesting too. It's like somebody that's an introvert, you probably weren't doing that stuff when it was in high school. All right, let's go back there. Were you doing things to get a rise? Were you like mostly quiet, and then all of a sudden you would say something, and then everybody's gonna get a laugh out of that? Were you that introvert that would always somehow get a laugh?
Yeah, like the sneaky guy that would say something every once in a while, but generally didn't say much.
Say or do something, in the odd frame. So that actually fits. That's pretty funny because I had a lot of friends like that too. We could always count on them to do something very clever or very quick-witted, but then otherwise they were super silent or didn't really say much, kind of observing, and then all of a sudden would do something super funny. So
that's me.
Yeah.
Middle school, got bullied, picked on, and so I had no self-esteem. And then high school, I started to get some self-esteem. And then it wasn't really till after high school to where I got more confidence.
Yeah.
To be more open.
Do you attribute that to anybody? Did you take that away, or did you just kind of grow into your own?
That's a good question. I haven't really thought about that. I do kind of take some personalities with me as I go. Kind of latch on to certain people that I look up to, and will latch on to them and kind of steal some of their charisma or something like that, or trying to imitate them in a way if they do something that I like. The whole YouTube channel is probably because of Jason. Like the confidence is from Jason. Like if he never started a YouTube channel or never did his series on making better video, I would not have. And I don't know. I'd be where
you definitely attribute him to spending over $5,000 on equipment. Yeah. Maybe it was over $3,000. I forgot.
It was probably, when you add it all up, it's probably between 3 and 5. And then I don't know. I've been bitten by it, so I'm constantly looking at gear. Yeah. Like I'm getting close to buying a drone.
Well, that was my next question too. But you went equipment first, then content. You reverse engineered it.
And the first vlog, I was like, I've got all this nice stuff, but I'm terrible at like producing the content.
So there were certain things you did on the first one that stuck with me, and it was the sound of the keys. It was putting the keys in the ignition. It was like you standing by the car and then driving 5 yards down the road into your driveway. That love that. That was like, it was hilarious. I thought you were going to drive off into the sunset and then you just turned into your driveway. That's good stuff though. If you keep doing it, it gets better over time too. It's consistency, and it's just like constantly the drive and the want to improve. So obviously you want to do this because you wouldn't have spent that much money and just wasted it. You do talk about that a lot. You're always just like, I bought all this equipment and I got to use it. I got to have to use it. So It's a good thing you're using your camera now and you're using your mic now. But I always see those umbrellas in there. I don't even know what that does. I
know.
Honestly, like
It's
now
a
it's a
light.
conversation
It's a big
piece.
old light. Yeah.
It's a light.
Potential clients will be like, "What is that stuff behind you?"
Yeah. And then do you talk about the video stuff a lot, or are you just
I'm
like, I do some
create
videos?
content. Yeah, I'll talk about it, but then I'm also scared to like have them see some of my YouTube.
Sure.
But hey, trying to be an open book. I'm a little curious what clients will think of the numbers video. None of
They're
them
not going to
have.
think anything of it. They won't even pay attention to it. I'll tell you
Yeah,
that.
it's
You know?
11 minutes too, or however long it is. And we're like, I'm not watching this, so hopefully they don't care enough.
I mean, I'll bet a lot of accountants look at it. I'll bet a lot of people on Twitter look at it, you know, and a lot of the people on tax Twitter, because that's, you know, again, not a lot of people talk about that. A lot of people will talk about their top line, and even on the podcast, I'll ask these questions. You know, I'll ask everything that you answered in there. I've already got the answer to. Your top line was 142, right? And then your take home was like 83, and your time spent was about 30 hours of actual work. But because you don't track your time, you don't really know. It sounds like you're having a good time doing this. You know, this whole endeavor of I'm going out on my own, I'm leaving. What was the firm that you worked at before? You said you bought some clients from them?
Yeah, it was a small local firm.
Okay.
Like, they didn't have more than 200 clients, I feel like. Really small. They just started like 3 years prior to me joining them. And the goal was for me to kind of take over the tax, potentially take over ownership or part ownership of their firm. My first firm I worked for was called Paget Straudeman. So it's funny that you own.
Was it Paget?
Paget.
Was it actual Paget?
It
Business
was
Services?
a Paget. It wasn't Paget Business Services. Paget Straudeman and Co.
Okay.
Central Texas, but they're now
interesting.
merged with RSM. So they're
McGladry.
aka McGladry. They went through like 5 different brands.
Doesn't everybody these days? Like I think in Texas, it might be one of the states where you have to use your name, right? As your
Yeah,
name
if you
of the-
start a firm, CPA firm, you have to have like I had to have Graf in there somewhere, or maybe
I like
Logan.
Tax Tele-Graf though. That's that's
Yeah.
a good name. Who came up with that?
I did. I was just like, I don't know. It's when I worked for the previous firm that I bought clients from, and I was like, Graf, and then Tele-Graf came up, and I was like, that's kind of neat. And then if you think about it deeper, like what was Tele-Graf's used for? It was for communicating, and spreading the word.
Tax.
So now I'm spreading the word through Twitter, YouTube. Now I'm the Tele-Graf.
So it's a lot of alliteration there. The Twitter Tax Tele-Graf. It's I love the alliteration. I love the branding stuff. This is cool. Was Twitter supposed to be to generate more client buzz? Was that the initial intent? You're on Twitter a lot, or you know, what was the impetus to it? Why Twitter over some of the others, like LinkedIn and all these?
It was just to like start a businessy type presence, like a professional, almost networking type presence, maybe even marketing arm of what I was doing. I'm looking at Twitter right now, and I joined, or my Tax Tele-Graf was in February 2019. And so I've been on Twitter for a while before that, but my professional account was in 2019.
Now you say professional with one quote, or like you did little air quotes, right?
It's definitely not
really
very professional.
Yeah,
No.
I mean, but is that the point though? Isn't that the point?
I think it started that way, just to talk about taxes. And I think I found other professionals on Twitter in my old account. And I was like, okay, I need to kind of rebrand this a little bit. And so Tax Tele-Graf was going to be like the blogging arm almost of the company that I worked for before. And so I used that.
The communications bit.
Yeah, that's how we're going to communicate to the clients and potential clients. And so started Twitter, and then it just kind of evolved into something else, like
and now
memes.
it's spiraled upward.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah, it's like it's its own brand.
But I would like you to know, Jason would like you to know he hasn't posted about this, and I think because he's scared if he does that I'll get more followers again. Because for the
You got a
longest
bomb that you're
time,
gonna drop here.
for the longest time, I had more followers than Jason, and he's been chasing me for like the last year, trying to catch up, and he finally did like last week. And
Really?
but he would text me, he's like 35 to go. Or like 2 to go.
That's awesome though. There's a competitiveness to it, right? It's like the competing that I was talking about, like the stuff in high school. Like it's almost like who's the alpha? Who's the alpha of Twitter?
Who's the alpha? He's the
And-
alpha now.
But doesn't it push you as well? If you know that
Yeah.
he's chasing you, it
I was
makes
like, all
you
right.
want to get more followers too.
Time to do a campaign and just unleash.
Blow him out the water.
Yes, but I was like, it was right when I was about to release my numbers video, and I was about to go out of town for a while, and I was like, I'm making it a goal to release this video before I go out of town because Jason's about to pass me up, and if I release this video, I know it's gonna help give me some like space. It won't last for long, but it'll give me some space. And I did, and that video blew up, and I got like a decent amount of followers, and so I got a nice cushion. And it's not all about followers, but it's just funny like how
It's
me and
so,
Jason kind of played that game.
I mean, to a degree it is, and to a degree it's not, right? So
Mm-hmm.
part of it is the fun of the game and kind of like going head to head. Who's going to be the first to hit 10,000? I'm sure that's like a something that you guys have going on in your heads. If it's
Oh
not
no, I
spoken.
didn't even think about that. Who's the first to the 10K?
Yeah.
Like
That's
we
your
can
next,
do that.
Yeah, that's your next challenge, I think. Because you're both at like 7. I just looked. It's like, I think he's a little bit beyond you right now, right? 76,
Yeah.
666 is what he
I have
has right now.
76.54, so he's barely skirting
Barely
by.
inching. That is so like, it's funny, right? Like it's almost like one of you is going to have to do something really big or like to differentiate. Because right now
Yeah.
it's almost like the same people are probably following you both, and that's why it's saying so similar.
It's his
You're gonna have to do
content.
something big.
His YouTube channel, I think, is funneling to his Twitter, and so now I need to funnel Twitter to my YouTube and
But now he has a
ramp up.
podcast that's funneling from the podcast to the YouTube to the Twitter. Look at this. Like, this is the flywheel here.
It's very
it's
niche
base.
podcast.
Oh, yeah.
Like
Aren't
he-
all podcasts very niche, though?
He's got a super niche YouTube as well, so that's my only saving grace is like if I can hit it with the general public on YouTube, I
Well,
should be able to pass.
You
it
got a
on
face
YouTube.
for the general public. Keep up that, keep up appearances, right? Keep the hair going.
God.
Keep up the, bring the mustache back. And you know who you look like on there? Thomas Hayden Church. If you look at him with a mustache on one of his movies, definitely, it's almost like I feel like you took the picture from there. I don't know, you didn't, but from the at
He's
a
like
glance.
a very serious looking.
He's a
looking
good actor.
guy.
I like the stuff that he's
Yeah,
in.
that
That's
one. Okay, my Twitter. Yeah, I guess my Twitter profile picture is pretty
Well,
serious.
yeah. So
Yeah.
let's not get off the rails here. So we've got the race to 10K. The YouTube.
It's on. It's on, Jason. You're going down.
Shots fired. The YouTube channel, though, like all of these things, part of it's fun, right? You say it's not about followers, but it kind of is. You got close to 10,000 followers. I don't know if you've ever even looked at it, but I'm sure most of your followers are, CPAs or generally in this whole,
Yeah.
venue. So there's a lot you can do with that to help others. Jason said he met you through Twitter, right? Like early days. I guess he was looking at your following and he, you must have had a big head start on him
How
too.
can I
right?
use this guy to get? Oh, no.
Did he
just
latch
kidding.
onto you? Is that
No.
what happened? He latched
No,
onto
he
you, and
didn't.
now it's almost like you latching onto him.
No, I wouldn't say that. No,
I'm
he
kidding.
didn't.
I'm
yeah,
kidding.
we're busting him.
I know.
I was a
busted his
big
chops.
Jason cheerleader from the start. I still am.
Yeah,
He's-
we all are.
Yeah.
He's very authentic in his stuff, and I feel like anybody that gets that and sees that knows that he's just a guy that was doing stuff in his garage. Recorded
Yeah.
with him back in January. Like, that's what's coming across for you too. It's like it's pretty authentic. you probably need a steady hand to make it a little bit smoother. I can give you some critical or critiques on all of it, but
Please
you're only going
do.
to learn by doing. Yeah, you're only going to learn by doing. So the YouTube stuff, what's the intention there? Do you hope to make some money doing it, like on the side, like is advertising, or is that in the cards too?
Yeah, I want a big following. I know that sounds very selfish,
That's all right.
but I just want to make people like smarter when it comes to taxes. I want people to understand more what's going on. And so I think my vision for it is to really be pioneering the tax landscape. I'm doing that through Twitter, one tweet at a time, but also one video at a time through YouTube. So I haven't really pushed much tax related content out there. I want to.
Have you
my
read
capacity.
Atomic Habits? Have you read?
I started
Atomic
it and I was like, I kind of do this already, some of it, and I was like, then I just stopped reading it, so I should probably finish it.
I think that there's elements of that you could pick up on, especially, if you want to improve, building the habit of just creating videos, even though some of it's not going to be good initially, just keeping up with the cadence to grow and push yourself as a professional.
Yeah.
So then it goes into like the affiliate or the partnership revenue, right?
So Jason's community paid me to do some stuff.
Okay.
And so I was the librarian at first. So I did some services for Realize. I just didn't know what to call it. I wanted to call it something than other income, because people are like, what the heck is other income?
Yeah.
And so I had to make some
Affiliate
kind of
stuff.
Yeah, I just said affiliate partnership income. So I was partnered with Realize in a way, but
That's cool.
Third party. I'm not. Yeah.
That I think you could call that affiliate or partnership stuff with brands if you were to have sponsors on your YouTube channel or on different things. I mean, if eventually, like, what are you using, UltraTax or Pro Series?
UltraTax.
UltraTax, yeah.
But I haven't even thought about monetizing Twitter yet. I'm not even close to monetizing my YouTube, in my opinion, just because I'm so small now. But
I don't think it's about monetizing it. A lot of people ask me, like, why are you even doing this? Why do you spend so much time doing it? And part of it is to, it's an outlet, right? It's something else to do. It's something more to give you a little bit more depth and define you as a person too. But it also feeds the beast of like the creative aspect that a lot of us have buried in us, And
and you started. That's like the biggest thing, is actually starting it. Like, do you wish you had started like years before?
Well, I can't wish that, right? If I could have done all of it over again, maybe I would have done this differently or that. Starting at very young, I'm going to be 40 in a couple of years. So kind of late in doing all these things. The podcast, like, I don't know if I could have done it at any other time, because it had to start from the ground up. I had zero following. Nobody knew who I was, and nobody knew what I was doing.
The thing with the creativity, like the creative social media stuff, is like, if you're gonna start, you start now. Like, don't wait. And I think that's good that you started. I wish I started YouTube a long time ago, because it's like the snowball, and it's like a small snowball for a really long time, but it'll eventually get there if you keep trying and keep working at it. It just takes a while.
Well, you can only grow and nurture one thing at a time. I feel like you can really only grow one thing at a time. And I feel like with Jason, he works on his Twitter and then ports it over and is working on his YouTube. And now he's working on the podcast. Like he's kind of growing, but he's not really trying to grow his firm. He's trying to grow his profitability margins, but he said this openly, like he's not trying to grow his top line. So how about for you? You're trying to grow a business. Do you find that that's why he has more followers than you? Because you've been at it this whole year of growing your business, and you grew it to above 100,000 in your first year, right? If you lean in more to promote your brand as Tax Tele-Graf and promote it to be client facing, then you're going to be able to feed both beasts and grow that. But then will it be as fulfilling if you're growing it with general business owners than peers? Like if you're just growing people that could be potentially clients.
That's true. Yeah, that's a good point. That's probably, the energy where I put things in. I'm definitely tied up in my business a lot. No, that's great. That's a great thing to think about. And I need to make that decision. And it's like, how do I separate Twitter Tax Telegraph from YouTube Tax Telegraph? Can they be different things? Because they can't. Yeah, that's the thing where I do
No,
want.
you're gonna have an identity crisis. I have considered all of those things, and I met with the rapping CPA who has like 3 different names that he goes by on YouTube and on Twitter, and it's just like it becomes all mediocre or all kind of like middle ground, and nothing becomes that good. I think you can really make something really good if that's where your head's at. And honestly, right now, you know, you got a young family, you've got a pretty solid base to start with. If you rolled everything into, I'm doing this to grow a bigger business, then it all becomes part of your thought process. When you decide to do something, it's because you're going to get more clients out of this, or you're going to attract more employees to eventually work for you, and things like that. So that's just
that's good. That's a good point.
just where my head's at as far as a consultative approach there.
You're my
How about,
you're my mentor, man. You're mentoring me right now.
It's just
You're Yodaing me.
Yeah. I need some Yoda. I need some. Oh, you could be my Padawan right now. Yeah. I need a little bit of that too for the social aspects. I'm gonna cue you for questions in a minute, but let's finish up this thought here. So, the firm, what's your big goals? Like, where do you see this firm in 5 or 10 years?
It's weird because it's almost like changing every week. Because
Sure.
some weeks I'll be like, man, I want to grow this firm to be big, like not like huge, but you know, have managers, have a decent amount of employees, and you know, maybe hit over $1 million in gross. That'd be awesome. And then sometimes I'm like, oh god, that's so much work to get there. Like I can coast right now and live a pretty decent life without all that. So I'm like torn between the two, because I do need to grow a little more on my business, but do I keep the faucet on, the fire hose on, and just grow, or do I just kind of like cap it and roll with, you know, kind of the solo, they call them like boutique firm now, or lifestyle firms. Do I run with that?
Yeah, that's a cute way of saying, oh, or that's somebody's way of saying, oh, that's cute. You've got a lifestyle firm, right? Like it doesn't feed your ego for sure. Like if somebody says that, it should be more of like it feeds theirs, and in a lot of ways. So if you frame it as being about money and not growing something, then you could be really happy just doing that, and then grow other things too. Right. And then not have to worry about, because I can say from my experience, I was not a very good manager of people early on. And my firm's at 1.5 million now. I'm currently making more than 200. I'm making about, I've already cleared 300 for the year.
Awesome. So you have cleared 300K.
And I haven't done anything this year either. And I've owned it for about 12 years. We got to 1.2 million, or we hit $1 million in 2016. So it was a lot of work, but it didn't take that long, considering, you know, the tools that were at hand, and then the cloud computing and what the software can do, and the amount of clients you could take on. You know, you're able to grow a firm to $1 million, and there's some good, decent playbooks, and definitely plenty of people out there that have done it that could help you along the way. But it's a matter of, what do you want? Like, I think to me, it was feeding my ego to grow it to be this big, and to have 10 employees, to, you know, do all of these things that I saw others doing that I wanted to do. Part of it was a sense of accomplishment. Part of it was feeding my ego. And now I've detached myself. I'm reading a book called Ego is the Enemy. And I think that's a killer book for me, because I need it. I need it. Like it's, and so just getting there, and the run to get there was a lot of hours, a lot of time. I could have never grown an audience and grown a firm at the same time. So it's about, what do you get more fulfillment from, right? Do you get fulfillment, or is it just to make money? Is the tax thing and the growing the client base, is it to be a better provider for your home? Like, your wife doesn't work, right? So the same with me. My wife, you know, has not worked since we've been together, or since our daughter was born, our earliest. So to me, it was always about providing, but I defined myself with the work, and I would work all hours. I mean, it was during tax season, it was normal for me to work all night, one night a week.
Oh, wow.
One night a week, almost all night. So, and I just had that inner drive, though, to do that. And I don't know. So if I could give you some advice, it may not always change once you finally decide what you want to do, but you're already doing it, right? Like in one way or another, you're growing it, but then you got to figure out what do you want it to look like? Because then every other decision you make will take you there.
Right.
So.
Yeah. My goal is to make a decent amount of money with working the least amount as possible.
All right. So it depends on how you define work, right? Like, because do you consider Twitter or the YouTube stuff work?
No, that stuff is too fun. Too much fun.
Right?
Yeah.
So what if you can make fun work? I don't know what that means, but that's where my head's at these days is how much time do I want to spend actually working versus doing this podcast? And then when it turns into, wait, technically like that's work and doing podcasts stuff is now kind of work. And I don't enjoy it as much when it's about the money, when it's about growing an audience or about having these conversations. Like right now, this is not work. To me, I could do this all day. I could talk all day. I could record 5 times a week and I'd be happy. If I could make money doing that, that's what I'd want to do.
Yeah.
So, you got to think about that.
I'm going to be a YouTuber. I'm quitting my job.
But you're not, though. You got to feed the beast, right? Like I can't sell my firm because then I have no authority to talk to you about any of it. Right?
I don't know. There's a lot of authority figures that
don't have firms.
I've been there and done that. And now they're just.
Yeah, but you're not at the stage where you've been there and done that yet, right? You're still learning to a large degree.
Yeah.
But what does being there even mean? Like, have you gotten to the point where, you know what, I could run a $300,000 practice, have an employee or two, maybe none, and still be happy and still do the YouTube stuff? That gives you a lot of authority because you're still practicing.
Right.
Yeah.
Like Jason has authority because he's, the partner of a big firm.
And he always, that's what feeds his ideas. That's what feeds the beast for him is practical examples of things. If he wasn't dealing with the IRS and all kinds of crazy, would he have come out with the video that it was like the funny stuff that we all deal with all the time about IRS agents? If he didn't have people knocking on his door trying to interrupt him and clients calling him, he wouldn't be coming up with these videos, right?
That's true.
It's a duality of being able to balance both too, and tip our hats to him for being able to do this. Making it seem effortless. It's not effortless for sure, and I think you know that.
Yeah.
Like some things might come easy initially, but then the road to 10,000 is not easy.
Yeah.
And I'm just going back to the 10,000, the 10K,
the 10K,
road to 10K followers. Once you pass that, doesn't it become a K on the Twitter, like number of followers, and it'll say 10K and it won't list out the whole 1,000?
Maybe. That might be for million. I don't know.
Might be for 100. 100,000. I'm not sure.
Dude, yeah.
Stay tuned.
Grow marketing. It's Thursday. We gon' advertise and chat on Thursday. At Accounting High and Branding Talk is Thursday. And we gon' help you social post so you're in first place. It's time for social studies, accounting, content hub, LinkedIn marketing, or X. So come join our social club. Is it Twitter? Is it X? Shit, now I can't keep up. So comment, follow, love. If you into social studies, it's time for social studies, accounting, content hub, LinkedIn marketing, or X. So come join our social club. Is it Twitter? Is it X? Shit, now I can't keep up. So comment, follow, love. If you into social studies, studies. Welcome back, Accounting High. Now it's time for social studies. We'll teach you new creative ways to market old product. Move beyond basics with Graf and Staats. Some stud you love. Position like Laura Lynn and you'll learn it's not all luck. Oh wait, now it all changed. SEO down, IG up. ICX, Meta, TikTok, hey LinkedIn, Roman V up. If you watch how they post, you'll see it's all authentic and genuine. Grow a following and don't get held back by perfection. Be intentional online, create content, now that's hot. Strategy is key with social media and pods. Start slow, pick up platforms, stick to it and go post. Make a plan to engage with client watering holes. Create a focus brand, be a lead online. It's a digital world with the best ROI. Now create your own ideal client persona, let's go. Keyword accounting high and get ready to blow. It's time for social studies, accounting content hub, LinkedIn marketing or X. So come join our social club. Is it Twitter, is it X? Shit, now I can't keep up. So comment, follow, love if you're into social studies. It's time for social studies, accounting content hub, LinkedIn marketing or X. So come join our social club. Is it Twitter, is it X? Shit, now I can't keep up. So comment, follow, love if you're into social studies. Follow this show, stay in the know. Thought lead online through networking. Like, share, repost, subscribe, YouTube, comment, engage, create, find your way.